It's $10,000 for 15 minutes of happy,
It ain't
happy.
15 minutes.
That's
It's a
all
whole
together when
entire
it's
day
less.
in the park, Kathy.
No,
Whole
no.
entire day.
No.
And we partnering with the park. So they're gonna take some of the cost, and we're gonna take some of the cost for next year. This 4th of July, what did we do? We didn't do anything for the residents. Y'all always up here speaking about the residents, but what did we do for them?
You wanna talk about
Nothing,
cutting costs?
not one
You
thing.
wanna talk about cutting costs? We did a lot for the residents.
We didn't do anything
Just
for the
because
residents.
we didn't have fireworks don't mean we didn't
Well,
do
it's
anything
in the
for the
budget,
residents.
it's in the budget.
Yeah, right, it's in the budget. It's not gonna only cost us $10,000, it's gonna cost us additional money for police protection. When you got crowd control protection, that's what it's gonna
But
cost.
you just heard what I
The
said.
fire department's gonna have
The
extra
park
manpower there.
district is partner
They're
with
gonna pay our
us. I
police
just told you
department?
that.
They're gonna pay our police department?
They doing 10,000, we're doing 10,000. That's the whole budget. It's $20,000 for
When you
that
put
day.
it in there, you put it in as
I put
fireworks.
it in $10,000.
Fireworks.
That's fine. What about
It's
it?
not fireworks, it's called, I think it's called,
The other cities are having stuff, I volunteer for the Corner Township, and I was questioning why,
it's called special events, it's not called fireworks, it's called special events.
but Dolton don't have nothing.
Exactly. That's how we trying to make these.
It's dead.
I agree. They trying to
You
find
know, they
something.
had all those
Thank you
things
so
before
much.
it passed.
I know, I've been here a long time.
They had all those things before it passed, and you know how our budget looked when we came in here? Now, would you rather have a more efficient water department, or would you rather have fireworks? Would you rather have more professional service, or would you rather have fireworks?
I'm saying that. Would you rather have a bank building, or would you like them to use the 50,000
Well,
to
I
fix the
saw
holes
this
in
thing.
the?
I like that, the bank.
I'd rather have the.
I like that, the bank
The
building.
infrastructure fixed. We didn't do any of
I like
that.
that, the bank
But
building.
when they started to complain, we ain't fixed now.
But
One
why
complaint.
is
What?
RD and?
Not one.
We fixed a lot of
No, we
complaints.
don't. No, we don't.
You don't know
We have
because
to
you're not
regrade
here.
any streets.
You don't know
You're
because you're
not
not
here. You're not here. You're not here.
You're not here.
You're not here. Stop. Speak for yourself.
I can say this, you say we haven't fixed any potholes, what we buying asphalt for?
I wonder why. We
Yeah.
gonna go next time ride down the block.
Because if
Right.
we getting $100,000
Right.
every 3 months, I still got questions on that, so.
When you come in here part-time, 3 hours a week, I guess you wouldn't know what goes on
I
here.
guess you would. Speak for yourself, man.
Okay, any further questions?
So how do we change these figures? We need to change to 80,000, because for
80,000.
sure, the 80,000 isn't there.
The
Which one?
difference
Which
now
one
would be
is it back on?
reflected instead of the budget,
Hold on a minute, hold on a minute. Wait a minute.
instead of the budget reflecting $717,581.30. It was
Wait,
now,
I don't agree with that, because I don't even think they added, what I was trying to say, Trustee Mandel, I don't even think, so if you go to page 28, and I haven't like really detailed out, add up all these figures, but if you add up 172,000 versus 286,000, that equals 458,000. That does not tie out to page 9. I think they already excluded that 80,000. I don't want to do it twice. So, okay, so you look at page 28, you total 172,000 plus 285,000, that equals 456, roughly 456,000. If you then go to go to page 8, you'll see that they have salaries, premium, overtime of 376,000. I think they already took out the 8,000, but I think that might have been a typo, it's not even.
Well, what
Makes me
about,
nervous to see how many of these pages, other pages don't tie out, but I mean, that one doesn't tie out, but it seemed like it's short to 80. I don't know if you have an answer or a response, but it looks like it's already reflected in it.
if I may continue, I started to say that if you were to adjust it, you would have to reflect, as Mr. Hunter showed, to the total pages, which is on page 8, and it appears to be that it was taken out. It's on the itemized page, but it is not into the overall page. So my recommendation is to leave it at the 717,581.30, exactly where we started a few hours ago. There will be amendments to this budget. We will find additions, subtractions, corrections. There was discussion tonight about firemen. We will have to do an amendment if the board so desires to put more firemen on, or less firemen on, whatever the case may be. So as I said a few hours ago, this is a document in the working.
All right, they're satisfied, trustee Moore?
Yeah. Yes.
Any other questions? Ms. Murphy,
The only thing I want to mention is,
it's been voted down. Just forward this vote, and we're gonna move on to the next item on the agenda.
With that said, Mayor, because this is just not right, and we know it's not right, we need to be back in here ASAP. Not just,
That's another check.
well, then we should have tabled it, instead of just voting it down, we should have tabled it for Wednesday.
This is a special meeting. All right, the next thing on the agenda is,
So we can go back to
number four,
the,
Mr.
Wait, when do we wanna schedule the next
We
meeting
can go
before
back
we
to the
don't get
vote.
taxes? I mean, I don't know, Gene was over there when
We
you
don't-
said no, I mean.
We don't have to
talk about-
schedule the next meeting.
I mean,
Hold on a
but
minute.
I would like to know
Hold on.
what days are available.
Hold
Can
on a
we
minute.
plan ahead?
We're not scheduling the next meeting now. We're on the agenda. We voted it. It didn't pass. Next thing on the agenda, go ahead, Mr. Irvin.
They gonna say no, then we don't get real estate tax, you saw what happened in Dixmoor?
Yes. Well, you
That's
voted
what
not-
happened in Dixmoor, they missed their own tax levy.
Yeah, you voted not to.
So you
pay
said
out-
no, I would just say, if you wanna
voted not
come
to
up with a
pick up
plan,
our
what
garbage,
days,
so-
see what people days available. It's not a game, this is real
You're
estate tax.
exactly right. It's not a game.
So
You are
you don't even
exactly
wanna,
right.
you don't even wanna make a date
You're
to when you
exactly
wanna
right.
schedule it?
You're exactly right. Mr. Irvin, next thing on the agenda.
That's crazy.
The next item on the agenda is approval
We
of
won't
a
get real estate tax.
purchase order
It
policy.
happens.
At this time, I'd like to remove this from the budget, or from the agenda. I would like this to be tied in when the budget is being approved. So the next item I'd like to bring forward is Public Works, a part-time laborer. You all had an email from myself over a week ago, and I supplied another email this week, and I just supplied the hard copy of a part-time employee that Mr. Stacy is recommending to be moved into a full-time position. Mr. Stacy, would you like to add anything?
The approval of the purchase order policy.
I asked for it to be pulled.
Okay, all right. Okay, Mr. Stacy.
Yes, sir. Just asking that the board approve the part-time labor to full-time.
Okay,
See,
how long
we
is it?
might not even have real estate taxes. I think all this should be pulled.
That's neither here
We
nor
might not
there.
have real estate
Okay,
taxes.
that's neither here nor
This
there.
happens, it just
That's
happened
not-
right there in Dixmoor. I think everything on this agenda
That's
should
not
be put
neither
on.
here nor
you
there.
all finish your negotiations.
You really think I wanna have
That's not
someone
here.
move over to
Trustee,
full-time?
you're not recognized right now. Okay, trustee, superintendent, go ahead. How long has this part-time person been with us?
It was gonna be going on 120 days now.
Okay, so your recommendation is take him on full-time, you think he meets the standards of a full-time person?
Yes,
His work habits and things.
yeah, his work habits are good. He's got the CDL, he's got the tanker endorsement. He's been out on all the jobs. He's been performing well.
I'd like to make a motion to table this until we get a budget.
Well, when you get the floor, you can make that motion.
See,
You don't have the
I got
floor.
a second.
You don't have the floor right now.
You got a second?
You don't have the floor. You don't have the floor right now.
But
That's the
table
problem.
over
That's the
room of
problem.
discussion, Mayor.
That's the problem. You think, there is no discussion right now.
Cause I just
There
tabled it
is no
right.
discussion
Yeah, I
right
got
now.
a second.
It hasn't been presented.
I got a table and a second. You can't have a
There
discussion
has
on the
not been
table.
a motion on it.
I made a motion to
Okay?
table it.
You were not recognized, okay? So the superintendent was talking, and when you get recognized, you can make your motion. That's the problem. You want to run the meeting, and you're not running the
No,
meeting.
sir, I don't wanna,
Okay?
I can make a motion to do a table. You can't take that right from me, cause you didn't give me the right to
When
be
you
up
get
here.
the floor, you can make your
No, I
motion.
can make a table
When you
for
get
you.
recognized, you'll go
No,
get
sir,
your.
I don't need you to give me the
When
right
you
to
get
make a table,
recognized,
sir. You can't take that right away from
when
me,
you
sir.
get recognized, that's when you can make a motion.
Sir, you can't take that right away from me, sir.
When you get recognized, you take
Sir, you can't take that right away from me. Sir, you
Does
can't
the
take
director
that.
have anything else to add?
No, that is all, sir.
Has a motion been made on, to approve the hire?
No,
a motion.
I made a motion to table.
Not second.
All right, now there's a vote on the table. That doesn't, a table.
For the, Mr. Urban, Did you finish the contract negotiations? Public Works?
Take the vote first.
I take,
Table and motion, go ahead.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded to table the hiring of the part-time employee to full-time.
Trustee Bendel?
No.
Trustee Pearson?
No.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Trustee Hunt?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Henyard?
Yes.
Four.
For motion carried.
No, it's not.
You don't need it? Okay, go ahead,
Important
Mr.
thing was this,
Go ahead,
this,
Mr.
negotiation of the
Go ahead,
budget,
Mr.
to get the real estate tax
Go
of
ahead.
$15 million.
Go ahead, Mr.
the next item on the budget, on the agenda, excuse me,
Mr. Urban has the floor.
is police department with hires of full-time. I would just add to this that these positions were and are in the budget. There was the approval given to the chief to hire additional part-time people. He's just bringing forward the names with the resumes for your final approval. That's all I have to say.
I'd like to table this too.
You all already previously approved it.
This was already
You
approved.
already approved this.
This was
We
These are
approved
games.
we approved to hire how many police officers, part-time police
Four.
officers?
Four.
And we hired two.
But Chief
And
Franklin,
we're trying to
I
figure
don't
this
even know if
budget
we're gonna
out
get real
and
estate
finish
taxes
this
right now.
budget.
I'm thinking, seriously, it might be funny, but it happened right next door to us in Dixmoor, where they missed the whole tax levy, and their budget got cut in half, and they had to cut the whole entire fire department.
Well,
So for them to put it up
And
there,
they're coming
for
back.
me, I'm just saying, I don't know where they're getting money
And
from,
they're
Scott, I don't
back
know,
pay.
but their whole fire department got cut when their budget didn't get passed. This is real life what happened.
What happened?
I put water in the sink, the water still come up. So I've been going to the wash house. So I made myself come out tonight, because I'm normally quiet. I don't bother no one about anything. So they were out there pumping water, and I looked in the drainage, the water's still there right now. It won't even go down. And this is a new street. And then by CVS, coming back this way, it's gonna collapse right by the curb. It's a hole in the ground like this, and that was a brand new street.
Well, it wasn't a brand new street. They did some resurfacing.
Oh.
They replaced about 2,000 feet of curb. I had to construct, and that was actually it was about 2,500. They were gonna do 2,000. I asked them to do some other spots, they did. And I asked them to send the Vector trucks out, which they did, and cleaned out all those sewers on Chicago Road from Sibley Road.
No, you're not listening to me. There's a hole that came in the ground of the road.
Oh, okay, but
On
you
its own.
talked about the backing up of the sewers.
I'm talking about both at the same time, because you're taking my minutes away from me. I'm trying to.
More
get my
minutes.
I'm trying to get my 3 minutes there, because you guys talk so much, my head is hurting. Anyway, I had a brain aneurysm, that's why I haven't been down here. I had a brain aneurysm, and that's why I have not been here. I've been in that house 12 years, and they told me I was not in a flood zone. I have been getting water all these years, so I'm able to come down today. And I have my bracelet on, I am permanent disabled, I just don't look it. So I got out, so I volunteered with Thornship so I could have something to do besides sitting in the house. So that's why I'm here today, to tell you what I see going on. And I want to thank the police officer for patrolling all through Dolton, you know, because I really saw the crime go down. I really did see that happen. And in the public work, I met him, he's very nice. He came, he looked at stuff, you know, the alley and everything. And I like the way they came down and watched their workers. It's the workers not doing the job correctly. It's not you guys, it's who you sent out. They came and took the stuff and just, it was terrible. I'd rather for the alley to stay like it was. And it took them 5 times to get it right. That's all I gotta say.
Georgia Williams, our 152nd in grants. I've talked to Mayor Rowley, I talked to our trustee Bendel about my water bill, and I've been trying to get this straightened out since last year. Everybody know, I don't come to the meeting looking for something, because I come to all the meetings, and I don't complain unless it's necessary. But I'm very upset, I'm not getting a water bill. I've been in my home 19 years. I do not have any late fees on my record for not paying my water bill. Since September last year, I've been fighting, trying to get them to send my water bill to my P.O. box. I had a problem with the house in the next block. I'm 15235, they 15325. They are sending my mail to her house. And when I called the police, I got checks, she opened my checks. I called the police, they told me it was a P.O. box. They didn't do nothing. So I changed and got a P.O. box. I have not gotten a water bill since I had a P.O. box in September. And I took trustee Bendel, went to the post office with me. I go from here to the post office. Post office said that they do send the water bill to the P.O. box. I come here and said, and what they didn't tell me they didn't, trustee Bendel thought they didn't do. But the post office keeps saying that they do take the water bill to the
Okay,
P.O.
they do.
So I'm not getting a water bill and they charge me these late fees.
Okay.
Excuse
the-
me, just a minute. I went with her
Right.
today to the post office. We
Exactly.
removed the charges off of your water bill,
Yes.
and Lena removed them. We talked to the gentleman at the post office, he said that'll be corrected. And Lena changed it to your P.O. box.
Exactly.
So everything's been done
No, but
today.
they didn't, the $8 that I paid for the first time, she took the one off from last time and this time. But the $8 that they charged me the first time, I've 3 water bills I did not get, and they can go back on my record, I've never been late with my water
But
bill.
this is between you and the post office. The
No, it's
post
not
office-
between me and the post
At
office,
the
because
beginning it
I
was.
gave them my driving license with both of my address. You are the one said the post office didn't do it, and you found out today the post office did. But what I'm saying, I'm the one that's getting the late fee, it's not getting the water bill. Yes, they did take last time, and now I'm paying 2 water bills into one, what I didn't know the other one had come. Why is I'm not getting the water bill? Now I got off, you see what my water bill is now, almost $300 that I gotta pay. Why? Because they're not sending it, I'm not getting it.
But your
So-
water bill is 6 months. 6 months water bill.
Okay,
It's
but
not
I'm
a few
still
months,
saying-
It's 6 months.
I went to the village hall, I went over here, I gave them my driving license with both of my address on. They changed my ComEd bill, my NICO bill, they changed it, they stand what the service deal, so with my P.O. box, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's showing what the service goes to my house.
But you still live in your house, and your mail should be given to you at your house also.
Boo,
That is
I
not
told
what
you, I don't get no mail at my house.
She got a P.O.
What
box.
is so hard for you?
The-
Okay.
P.O. box that don't go
Today,
down.
We went today,
prior-
we went today.
Prior to you, talking to Lena, what was the address of her water bill?
You know what I didn't see, to be honest, I can't
So
tell
you
you.
don't know if it was a
What I did was, I went to the post office with the young lady, and we talked to the gentleman at the post office. He said he's gonna talk to the mailman on the route.
Yeah.
He also advised her
No,
to,
no, listen, not talking about the post office, I'm saying, do you know what's physically on her water bill?
no, I don't.
Okay.
But there's a
This-
stack
this-
of water bills this high that have yellow labels on them that come back here all the time. I don't know who's on them. Lena changed it
Okay.
into service to the P.O. box today. In October, her stuff should be mailed out.
But
to
I
the
got
P.O.
2
box.
water bill I gotta pay into one, boo. Maybe you don't know that. They told you.
All right, all right.
I done split out my money.
Don't get excited, don't get excited. I got somebody going to take care of you tomorrow, okay? 148.45.
And I'm ready
One's
next
dead,
door.
one's
You're 41.
somewhere now.
14841.
Right.
I told him,
Sunday sidewalk,
should've went in
we're
there
gonna
and shot
repair.
I don't have paper
Some of
on
this,
it.
some of this, some of this. I know some of it. Mr.
And they should be put it back on the water too.
Right. I want to have them cut that off, but we're gonna do, repair the whole thing. We're gonna have to raise that to put a cap on so that you know.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Lee.
Yes, I just had a couple of questions. Are we still doing budget questions for that table also? Are we just asking?
Your citizen address, however you want to.
Okay. I had a couple of questions on page 6 and page 12. Page 6 and 12, under legal services. I see a total of nearly $500,000, about $460-something combined with those.
Do we have boards, please?
And I was just curious as to how, I mean, what kind of legal services that amount to nearly $500,000, what precisely does that entail? That was just my question.
Sir, can you answer that, the legal services associated
On
with
pages
the
6 and 12 of the budget.
Legal services encompass everything from a retainer fee for an attorney to be here on such nights for board meetings. And of course, then there is the times when we need him, as you heard tonight, he's going to be doing negotiations. there are a lot of lawsuits that the village is involved in. And we not only have Mr. Murphy, we also have what we refer to as the legislative attorney. He represents 4 of the trustees on the board, and the board pays for that as well.
Well, that leads to my question.
And that's the cost, that he doesn't just represent 4 trustees, he represents the
The
entire
trustees,
council.
I'm
So
sorry.
just be careful saying that, most people in the audience say that, and here say that, that's an untrue statement.
I apologize, when
I mean, so just be careful when you say,
That's what I knew.
who hired him,
That's what it was.
Who hired him? Did the whole council hire him, or did?
I said they represent the whole entire council.
He doesn't, he
No.
just.
He does.
Let's move on, let's move on.
That's it.
It's not a true statement.
That's the truth.
He does not.
No,
You
it's
don't
not.
represent me.
May I please finish my question?
We
2
declare-
minutes, go ahead, you represent. You got 1 more minute, sir, please, let him finish. Go ahead, sir.
Stan, were you finished in regards to, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, I'm a little concerned about,
Ladies?
about these excessive, not excessive, legal fees. I don't understand why we should have 2 attorneys, and I don't understand why the second attorney is hired when we have all these budgetary problems. Surely,
You're kind of wrong because we got more than 2 attorneys, so don't say just 2 attorneys, because this village has about 5 attorneys. So we can't just go and say 2 attorneys.
am I out of order, or are you?
I'm sorry, no, I'm never out of order. But I had to correct you. I'm sorry, I had to make you know,
Okay.
that you know that we have more than 2 attorneys. Okay, go ahead.
So my question is, one of the attorneys was hired recently, and I'm wondering, is that possibly an expense that could be looked at, or is it being looked at? I'm not trying to deprive anybody of legal expenses or
I
whatever,
can address your question. I mean,
but that isn't just the first question that I have. I have a second question, but I hope I haven't used up my few minutes yet. My second question concerns the the fitness center. I'm just wondering, would it be more cost effective to close it down rather than try to bring people in? I'm, trying to think of ways to save without hurting as few people as possible. And I'm just throwing things out there that maybe,